Hello, Tyler. This is your wonderful friend Claire helping you with the chain rule. Okay, to start out, I already wrote down 2 problems from our book, okay? Problem number 1 and problem number 13, because it has a trig function. And I have this convenient board to use, so I will show you. So, the first thing we do is we find u, and letter u is one of the many variables we can use in the chain rule. What you need to remember about the chain rule is it's all about putting variables in for things that are hard. So you could have like 4 chains, you could have 2 chains, you could have 5 chains. It depends how complicated the problem is. So we'll start with number 1 right here. Now, letter U is always the inside of something. Inside parentheses, inside the square root, inside something. So for us, our u, which is the first variable, is going to be this. X to the third plus 2x. So I'll just write that down. U equals x to the third plus 2x. Okay. Now, we need to account for the rest of it. There's this to the 37th, and we're not sure what to do. So I'm going to make a new variable. You can pick any letter, but most people pick y. So I'm going to say y equals u to the 37th. Okay, see how u is the inside, and y is u to the 37th. It makes sense. It really all lines up. Now, we have all of our variables. Now to define the derivative of the whole thing, we have to find the derivative of the 2 separate ones first. So here we go. And this is very easy because we have properties we know. So here's the derivative of u would be 3x squared plus 2. The derivative of y would be 37u to the 36th. Now, all we have to do is multiply them. So I will go down below here. 3x squared plus 2 times 37u to the 36th. Now we're almost done. What Mrs. Chima wants us to do is put everything into terms of x. So, how can we get u to be x? Well, we reference back. You see u equals this, x cubed plus 2x, so we just plug it right on in. So I'll draw a little arrow. We'll go 37x cubed plus 2x. And we could say it's all to the 36th, so you could do a big, huge parentheses. Then to finish the equation off, you have to pull down the rest, which is already in terms of x, so you don't have to worry about it. So just pull it on down. 3x squared plus 2 times this. And there is your answer. Now, Mrs. Chima doesn't make us simplify very much, but sometimes the book does, so the answers might not line up, but they could really be the same thing. I'm going to check mine real quick. It might not line up with the book. It says the answer is 37 times x cubed plus 2x to the 36th times 3x squared plus 2. So we are right. Yay, go us. Alright, now for this next one, number 13. It's a little weirder, but we can handle it. So I'm going to grab a separate sheet of paper, because it'll probably take more room. And now for this, we need to know our trig functions. So we'll start out with this initially for cosine to the 5th of x. Alright, now right off the bat we need to find u. That's our first variable. So, u is whatever's inside of something. In this case, it's really easy. U just equals x, because it's the only thing that is being worked on. So we'll just put u equals x. Let me make sure I wrote the problem down right. Yep, I did. This is number 13. Okay, now we will continue on with our variables. Now we know we're going to need a lot, so you can make up your own letters. I think the book says to use V or something, so we'll go ahead and do that. So the next one will be V equals, now let's see, we have cosine to the fifth, and we don't know how to find the derivative of cosine to the fifth all by itself, so we have to separate it out more. So I'm just going to say that this is the cosine of u. So far, we have the cosine of x that fits right in here, but we have to do it to the fifth now. So I gotta make up a new letter. Well, here we go. We'll go z equals v to the fifth. So now so far, we have x, cosine of x to the fifth. We're going right down the chain. This is why it's called a chain, because it just connects and connects and connects. Now the last part is 4. So, we'll make a new one. Let's think up, how about we do n equals 4z. Okay, so this is the exact same thing. Now that we have all of our variables, we can basically just do whatever we really need to. I'm going to straighten out the paper a little. Okay, now let's just find the derivative of everything. The derivative of u would be 1. The derivative of v would be negative sine of u. Remember not to get your variables mixed up. That's the lethal part of this. The derivative of z equals 5v to the fourth, and the derivative of n equals 4. Because that cancels out. Okay, now we get to multiply again. And we just have to continue our canceling out. Now you see we have two variables that are easy. 1 and 4, that's simple. I'm not going to even worry about them. I'm just going to write 4, because 1 times 4 is 4. I'm just going to write that right out front. 4 times the sine of u, or the negative sine of u. So I'll just put this negative out front, not worry about it. Times 5v to the fourth. Now is when we plug everything in to be in terms of x. Now with all these chains it gets confusing, so you always have to reference back to this part. So this sine of u is easy, that's just the sine of x. So I'm just going to put that right in. Negative 4 sine x. And you just pull this down. Next part, 5v4. Gotta try to retrace our steps a lot. Let's start here. 5v4. What is v? Cosine of u. Well, we'll start there. So we'll go down to 5 times the cosine of u to the fourth. Alright, we're still not in terms of x yet. Oh, sorry, I moved the paper. So we gotta keep going. But since we have this u, easy. Times 5 cosine of x to the fourth. Now, this and this is our answer, so I'll just rewrite it over here for you. The answer would be negative 4 times the sine of x times 5 cosine x to the fourth. And you could just put this right on over here, so it would be negative 20 sine x cosine x to the fourth. There's your answer. So let me check in the book one more time to make sure that was correct, and otherwise you'd be good to go. For the chain rule, it's really easy. You just have to remember that you can plug in whatever variables you want. You can say, I can do this with 1 chain, or I better go to 5 chains. Anyway, this is number 13. The answer is negative cosine to the fourth of x times the sine of x, so that's good. The only thing is, in this case, you want to put the to the fourth here, because you never write it like cosine of x to the fourth. You write it cosine to the fourth of x, just like up here. So there's your answer. I hope that's good, Tyler. You can ask me any more questions because I love the chain rule. It's the easiest rule for me. Anyway, hope that helps. There you go. And I feel like Khan Academy when I do this. Ha 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 ha.